Welcome back. A family in the United States is raising the alarm over artificial intelligence, specifically ChatGPT, a popular chat that is being used more and more by people around the world. Their 16-year-old son died earlier this year, and now they're suing ChatGPT and its parent company, OpenAI. They blame the AI company for helping their son take his own life after they read hundreds of messages back and forth between him and ChatGPT. For more on the implications, I'm joined by Shruti Shekar. She's the editor-in-chief of Android Central, tech analyst as well. Hey, good to see you, Shruti. Your thought on this story here, very strange, and yet obviously there is a lot here to unpack. What do you make of it?
Yes, incredibly disturbing. And I urge anyone who is reading this story to please be careful because there are a lot of trigger warnings, of course. I mean, something like this is so devastating. I was reading the article and it looks like the teenage boy actually started using ChatGPT to really understand his hobbies and sort of get to know his own self and try to learn what he's interested in. And I guess in the period of that, he started asking questions about taking his own life, and ChatGPT kind of encouraged him is what the claims are saying. And that's the part that's really, really scary to me. And I have said this time and again, that one, parents 100% should be talking to their kids about ChatGPT and how to be online. But two, we shouldn't be using ChatGPT as a form of therapist because there can always be issues.
Yeah, you raise a great point. There are some controls in place, although lawyers for this family say the controls are easy to navigate and circumvent, get around, and that there certainly don't go far enough, and that if you push enough with something like ChatGPT, you can eventually try and get the answers you are looking for, even if they might have deadly consequences as well. I know that ChatGPT is trying to bring in even more safeguards here. Do you think it's enough? How does this kind of thing play out?
So from my understanding, and ChatGPT did respond to the parents and they offered their condolences, and they said that one of the things about their chatbot is that it does, like you said, offer those sort of messages saying, directing that user to a helpline or a hotline of sorts. But what I'm understanding as well is if you are consistently in the same chat with ChatGPT, now every time you open a new tab, you can create new chats. But if you're in one chat and you consistently are using that chat, those prompts aren't appearing as often as they should be. And I think that's the part that ChatGPT needs to work on, and they did acknowledge it. And I think that is something that they want to keep, attempting to fix. Is it enough? I don't think so. I think especially when you're talking about things like your mental health, or you're talking about any dangerous thing that could affect you or affect other people, those prompts need to be in place consistently, and they need to be working on that as soon as possible.
I know that some of the messages they read back and forth were pretty awful between their son and ChatGPT in terms of what was being discussed. The other thing, and you touched on it a moment ago, is we know more and more people are using ChatGPT, for everyday things, but also a lot of young people are using it almost as a digital therapist of sorts when they're not feeling well, when they may have mental health challenges, and this is where it becomes very risky. We know that, psychologists are saying, look, that's not what it was designed for, and even if it can seem like it's very sympathetic or empathetic to what someone is going through, there are real dangers here.
100%. And listen, I use ChatGPT sometimes when I don't understand something. I think a lot of us do. The implications and the concerns here are when you start to use it and start being, you're relying on that as opposed to the support systems that you might have, or even those professional and official hotlines that are available outside of your realm, right? I think that's the part that's really concerning when you start using an AI bot that has been fed information. I want to be very clear. It is not a sentient human being that can really understand what you're feeling. It has been taught all of the keywords, all of the phrases that you're asking it, which is why when it responds to you, it comes across very human-like. But at the end of the day, it is not a real therapist that is speaking to you. And that is the difference and distinction that we need to make sure people are aware of. And especially with something like ChatGPT, that is being used so often by so many different people, especially for teenagers and young people. They need to be aware of that.
Shruti, great to see you again. Thanks for taking the time on this one today for CTV News.
Thank you so much for having me, Todd.
Shruti Shekar joining us, the editor-in-chief of Android Central.